Hey, what's up, guys? This is Brad with Spike Fitness, and I'm going to do a video kind of talking about partners and stuff. Sitting around talking at breakfast this morning, or lunch, I guess it was, with my buddy here. And why don't you introduce yourself to us?
Robert Douglas.
So, Robert's another soldier. Him and I kind of got to know each other a little bit, hanging out in the gym, just kind of crossing paths and talking, and, got to know each other a little bit. And so we were sitting down eating together, just kind of talking about the channel and talking about different things. And, I happened to mention the whole aspect about training partners. And so it was a video that I wanted to do in the very near future. And so, him and I just kind of sit down and we're kind of rapping about it. And I liked a lot of the things that he had to say, and so I felt like it'd be a good opportunity to bring somebody else in and have some additional perspective into what it was that I wanted to say about training partners. So I guess to kind of kick it off, training partners are, I think it's a really important aspect of training. It's very awesome to have somebody around that can, be with you kind of lockstep and do the things that you're doing. It can be very motivating. So having a training partner with you could be, really great and, energizing, having somebody there to pump you up and get you going. So there's a lot of good stuff that comes along with it, but also there's a lot of bad too, yeah?
Oh, absolutely. But I think that we get too stuck on what we believe a partner should be.
Right.
I think a partner should be by our side the whole workout, and it's far more dynamic than what that is.
Yeah, so you gotta remember that, anytime you're entering into a relationship, whatever that relationship might be, gym partners or whatever, both people are dynamic, dynamic human beings that have a lot of different things going on all at the same time. So I think at some point in time, most of us have probably had that gym partner that was lockstep. They were doing everything we were doing, every set, every rep, and had a really great experience. And I think that most of us kind of want that, or most of us seek that, because it was so good to have somebody there every step of the way. But having somebody with you every step of the way is not necessarily a sustainable model. Everyone's going to have different things going on, life circumstances and whatever else, and so it's really hard to have somebody there with you. I think as an adult. Where you're not training with your friend that lives across the street or something like that. I think as an adult, the most sustainable model that you can hope for a gym partner is somebody that will be at the gym the same time as you, on the same days as you, and is willing to help you in between whatever it is that they're doing. I don't know, what do you think?
It's not something you're married to. It's something that everybody looks forward to. And absolutely, being there at the same time, just for motivation, for tips, for guidance, support. That's what it should be about. Otherwise, you're not growing together. You're potentially hurting each other by being married to the same schedule.
Yeah.
Not everybody's going to be able to do the same thing at the same time.
Yeah. And then too, especially as each lifter progresses, they're going to have their own strengths. They're going to have their own weaknesses. They're going to have their own physical requirements, stuff that they're going to have to do to best serve their own training, or their own goals, rather. So what works for me isn't necessarily going to work for you.
Absolutely not.
So we're not going to be able to be on the same kind of a training program, training method, just because our different goals. You have more of a bodybuilding type of a goal than I do, for example, and just by the virtue of that, is going to necessitate that you do different things than I do.
If you're married to one person, they're not literally married, but if you're only stuck on that one person, they miss the gym, it affects your workout. But if you're just saying, hey, if we're here at the same time, keep an eye out for me. Maybe I need a lift or some support, and it changes your workout, but you're not dedicated to that one person. It's not affecting your day-to-day.
Yeah, it's best to kind of have as much of a symbiotic relationship as possible, where the two of you are supporting one another in a kind of a healthy way, versus if that person's not there, that your workout kind of goes to shit, or that you don't do your workout. So in terms of gym partners and stuff like that, I think it's good to have somebody there. It's always good to be open and welcoming and inviting for people to come join you. To a point where it doesn't sideline your own training, because I've had it where people want to jump in and talk with me or hang out or do what I'm doing, and then I've spent so much time trying to help them or whatever that it actually sidelines my own training. And so I would see that to be a detractor from from what I'm there to do.
Oh, absolutely. I think that you shouldn't be afraid to tell somebody, say, hey, I'm willing to help you, but we're not on the same level to be gym partners.
Yeah.
I'm here to support you and to be a cheerleader for you, but we're not on the same level, and I cannot hold myself back to bring you to where I'm at.
Yeah, I think one of the best things that you can have in terms of like looking at like gym partners is like open dialogue and communication. So like anytime that you fail to communicate openly with somebody, like you're really setting yourself up for failure, and you're really setting them up for failure. One of the recent experiences that I had kind of having like a gym partner was the idea that they were going to kind of be lockstep with me and do everything that I was doing, and then without any word, without any notice or notification, that individual decided to kind of revert and go back to the things that they wanted to do, which in and of itself is fine, but the lack of communication is where the problem arises. And like again, I think that you do yourself a great service when you are clear and open and communicate with the people around you, so that people know what to expect. Hey man, you know what, this program's a bit too much for me. I can't keep up with it, or you're a little bit too far beyond me. I need to stick with what I was doing, or whatever. I prefer to go back to doing whatever it was that I was doing before, because it's more comfortable for me. But a lot of times too, people have a hard time just being honest. If it's a matter of not being able to keep up, or if it's a matter of some issue that they see, and you're talking about that self-consciousness.
Yeah.
If they're self-conscious about whatever for some reason, they're less likely to be open and honest with you about what's actually going on.
It's a lack of self-confidence, and it's a lack of just overall confidence in and of themselves to say, hey, I'm not where you're at, and I'm uncomfortable. But if you're open and say that this is where I'm at and this is where I want to be, we can work together to get you there. Maybe not at the same time, and there's nothing wrong with that.
Yeah, I agree. And so, like, for my friend Simon out there, one of my viewers, Simon, was talking about some difficulties that he's been having with training partners and trying to change his whole schedule and trying to do lots of things to be as accommodating as possible. And you've already recognized, in the comment that you made, Simon, that that was kind of a flaw on your part, and that you made a mistake having done so. And to that point, I would agree. I think that anytime that you take your goals and you start bending them to somebody else, or just for the effort of trying to fit somebody else in, I think that you're selling yourself short. And when we were talking about training partners and things like that, I think as adults, probably one of the best things that we can hope for in terms of having training partners is trying to create an environment or join an environment where there are lots of people that are there generally doing the same thing at the same time. So examples that I have are, Never State Gym. Never State Gym with Brian Alsrew. Those guys, a lot of people are doing a lot of very different things, but all of them are very, very supportive of one another and willing to help out one another, at the drop of a hat. So that's an environment where there's lots of different people doing lots of different things. However, everyone's always willing to come back together and help one another out, at the time of need, or when you're performing that big one rep lift or whatever. Hybrid Performance Method down in Miami, Steffi Cohen's gym. That's another example. Alex Uslar, is a great hype man. And when I was down there training, was screaming at me from across the gym when I was getting ready to perform my deadlifts. So as an adult, I feel like the best thing that you can do is either find or create an environment where people can come and kind of do their thing, but everyone always has that objective of coming back together and supporting one another.
Oh, absolutely. Be the environment that you want to see. Don't talk about what you've done. Go up and compliment somebody, or ask somebody, hey, I saw you doing this certain exercise. It looked cool. Can you show me? Or just be supportive of somebody at their lift. Ask them if they need a spot. Ask them if they need help. Be the environment that you want to see. And know that everybody else is just as uncomfortable and self-conscious as you are. And being a little more open and more communicative about it is going to change things. Don't be so closed off.
Yeah, and I think that's probably a pretty good place to kind of leave this video is, talking about we talked about some of the pitfalls of having partners and how destructive certain partners can be to your training program, but also everything that people bring to the table in terms of, you know, the community and being able to help and support one another. I think that if you have that open mind that you were talking about, and you know, being open and being communicative about what your goals are, and then not being too not expecting too much from other people, in terms of not expecting them to fall in line with everything that you're doing, but allow them to be where they are, allow them to be who they are. I think that's probably a really good place to start from. So, you know, if you're out there in the world, maybe you have a home gym, something like that, it might be good to maybe invite a few people to come train. Maybe even charge them kind of a maintenance fee, you know, $10 a month or something like that, to help you upkeep the equipment and potentially, you know, buy new equipment. But you have people that you welcome into your home or your garage or your wherever, and you allow them to do whatever they're doing, but you all agree communicatively to help one another. That might be a really great way to kind of, you know, have people around to be able to support you in whatever it is that you're doing, and not feel not feel put off by the fact that somebody else is doing something else.
Yeah.
What do you think?
Set a time. If you set a time for a workout to start that workout.
Yeah.
Don't let that other person bring you down.
Yeah.
Just do you and be as supportive as possible.
Yeah, I like it. All right, guys, that's it. That's the video. We're going to close it down. You know, just wanted to get out some thoughts and some ideas about, you know, training partners and some of my own frustrations as of recent. But yeah, guys, you know, I think having a good partner, it definitely adds a lot to training that you can't really get any other way. So remember, guys, no matter what it is you think you can't do, like get along with other people and find some common goals. You got to get in and got to train despite. You're either going to find an excuse, you're going to find a way. I appreciate you guys watching. If you have any questions, comments, or concerns, leave in the chat box below, and I'll be sure to respond. Say any farewells?
No.
Nah. Peace. Yeah, appreciate you guys watching. We'll see you in the next one. Peace.
Yeah.